Hi, I'm Len Morgan, your Slippershod pastor, and I'm speaking to you today on June 19th. And so today we celebrate Juneteenth, because on this day in 1865, the last African Americans who were held in slavery were liberated by a Union army in Galveston, Texas. And so it's a great day to celebrate, because today in 1865, there were no more people who were being held as property. No more individuals who were treated as though they were cattle. And that's reason to be glad. But it's also a solemn commemoration because, of course, there was the preceding history that was just shameful and wrong and abominable. And the following years between 1865 and now have not fully resolved the issue of Black lives being treated with equal dignity to other lives. It is an ongoing project. And it's not just a matter of individual morality, but it is a matter of societal attitudes and actions. It's hard for a lot of people, I know, to make peace with the slogan, Black Lives Matter. And the response is, of course, all lives matter. But I'd ask you, as you hear that phrase, to not think of it in the context that Black lives matter more than any other kind of life, but hear it as a refutation of the previously existing attitude that treated Black lives as though they didn't matter. If one hears society saying in many ways, repeatedly, over hundreds of years, that Black lives don't matter, then saying the opposite of that is not excluding anybody else's dignity, but it is affirming the dignity of those whose dignity has been denied in countless ways, in law and in practice and in attitude. For us who are Christians in a predominantly white church, it's important, I think, for us to take these moments to be reflective, not necessarily about our own sinful attitudes, although that's always important to do, but also to be reflective that we're part of a tradition that was able to preach from pulpits week after week about the freedom of new life in Christ, while fellow human beings were being held in chains and bought and sold. That they were speaking about justification by faith, but unconcerned about the injustice that was being done to Black women and children and men in their community. Now, I know none of us were directly involved in those things, but good Christian people were indeed sitting in pews like this one and listening to sermons like I described, and were completely unconscious of the sin that their society was so deeply enmeshed in at the same time. And we have the same possibility to have those same blind spots in our thinking. And so as we consider issues of justice and love and peace in our society, let us not be so quick to imagine that we're not involved in something that is causing others harm or contributing to a broader injustice. Let us be humble and loving and affirm that yes, indeed, no matter what anyone else may have ever said or thought, Black lives do indeed matter.